I'm here at Sweden Open today, and I'm here with three Singaporean students who have been studying in Sweden. Basically, there are a lot of Singaporean students that go to Sweden to study at our universities every year. As far as I've heard, it's one of the top destinations for Singapore students to go to Sweden, actually. So I thought it would be interesting to hear from three of them what they really thought of their experience of Sweden. So maybe you can just start by introducing your name and which school in Sweden or university you went to.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I went to University of Gothenburg in 2019.
Okay, hi, my name is Fiona and I did a 5-month exchange program in Uppsala University in 2022.
Hi, my name is Maria and I went to Lund University last year in 2024.
Thank you very much. So if we just start a little bit, I mean, it's two small countries, at least when it comes to Sweden is quite big geographically, but quite small when it comes to population. And we always compare Singapore and Sweden, that quite small countries, but they're quite different. If nothing else, the weather is quite different. But if I can ask you perhaps, what generally did you like about Sweden?
I like the fika culture, where it is like a coffee break that we will have it almost daily. And I like that Sweden is a very innovative country and a lot of very pretty designs everywhere, from houses to buildings. And yeah, I actually miss being in Sweden.
Fiona?
Generally, I think as a nature lover, I really appreciated the abundance of green spaces that there was to enjoy in Sweden despite the very cold weather. And also as someone who is very into sustainability, it was very eye-opening to see how common it is for people to be very environmentally conscious, and it's just ingrained in everybody's life. So yeah, that was very nice to see.
I think one of my favorite parts about studying in Sweden was the culture of nations. I participated in quite a few events from nations, and I think that the social life there is very vibrant and lovely, and everyone is so open to international students, and it was really great.
Yeah, same about the nations in Uppsala.
Thank you. So, but you were obviously there to study, so I hope you did a bit of studying too and not partying all the time. Do you feel it's, and I'm going to ask you this, Fiona, was there a big difference studying in Sweden and studying in Singapore?
Yes, definitely. Where do I start? In general, I think one of the biggest culture shocks that I had actually when I was studying in Sweden was it was very interesting to me that almost everybody that I met there was very passionate about their work and what they're majoring in. So of course I can't speak for everybody's experience, but based on my experience there, in Singapore, most of the people that I know, we choose our majors based on practicality, maybe how much money earning potential there is. And then when I went to Sweden, it was very eye-opening and very refreshing to see that most students, even if they are studying something super niche, it's what they're actually passionate about. And it was very nice to see, and I really wish that we can become a bit more like that in Singapore, more open-minded to people who, I don't know, are interested in the arts or something that's less STEM. Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
I completely agree with Fiona, and I think because of this, there's a sustained culture of innovation in Sweden. I think Lund is home to many of the world's most used inventions, like Bluetooth, Oatly oat milk, and things like Tetra Pak. Yeah.
Sarah, you want to add something to how the difference is to study in Sweden and?
Yes, so I think actually I noticed that the classes size are smaller and people are more willing to ask questions for the sake of really finding out, not just for class participation, which happens in Singapore universities. And I enjoy that there's a wide background of students coming from all over the world to learn, and we can both learn from each other's experiences and cultures as well. And the professors are really nice. They would even take time to answer our questions, and there's a more personal touch in general.
Very nice. It's so nice to hear. And I'm just thinking a little bit further as well. If you felt that there was anything in particular that Singapore can learn from Sweden, and also vice versa? Anything that you feel that, okay, here we actually from Singapore can actually also teach you or bring you forward in? Is there anything there you think about?
I think Singapore can definitely learn from Sweden's culture of prioritizing sustainability. Of course, Singapore has very forward-looking plans when it comes to green energy, sustainability, etc. But I think that Sweden has been able to really ingrain the idea of sustainability down into their culture, from the food that they eat to the clothes that they wear and the things that they do every day. I think that's really spectacular.
Anything else you want to add to that?
I think I would agree with you completely. Yeah, like it was really nice to see that everybody was really into sustainability culture, and like I think in Singapore, although like companies and like our government is also trying to incorporate sustainability into our everyday lives, it's still lacking really in the people in the grassroots level. Like we still mostly prefer to prioritize our convenience over sustainability. I think that's something that we really have to learn from Sweden. Like, you know, the separation of the recyclables, wow, it's very different in Sweden versus here, and everybody knew how to do it in Sweden. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And I, from my side then, being a Swedish person living in Singapore, I still think there is a lot as well that Sweden can learn from Singapore. And just a matter of, you implement things, for instance, is that anything from government level down to whatever, you can do it very quickly here. If you feel it's like, okay, this needs to be changed, you change it. That takes a long time in Sweden, I find. People need to reach consensus for almost everything. But I think still that it's a very, very nice collaboration developing between Singapore and Sweden in many ways, both business, science, and also this what we have, because we also obviously have a lot of Swedish students coming over to Singapore every year, the same as Singaporean students going to Sweden. And Singapore is a very popular destination, and that way we can learn from each other, which I think is nice. So may I also ask you now, you are all young, you are either working or soon to be working. Has your stay in Sweden in any ways changed your way that you look at your career and what you're looking for in your career? If I ask you, Sarah, first.
Yes, I think I learned that to be brave, to be creative, to step out my comfort zone, and even made me want to actually work overseas even more if there's an opportunity. And I think that I learned a lot about respecting others' people's culture, their language that they speak, and always being open to making new friends and saying yes to new experiences. And with that, I'm starting a new job next month.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. Fiona?
I think one way that Sweden has really, my experience in Sweden has really influenced the way that I approach my career and work is that now I really do value work-life balance, because I think that we go to work almost every single day, and sometimes even if you do like the thing that you work on at work, it can be very difficult to make yourself actually enjoy doing what you feel like you're forced to do every single day for 8 to 9 hours. So like, it's very important first for work-life balance so that you can do whatever you want to do after work and outside of work, and not have to answer to calls 24/7. You're not expected to do that. And also it's important to have synergy with your team and your manager as well, yes, so that you can enjoy, at least kind of enjoy going into work every single day. Yeah.
Very good. Maria?
Yeah, and I agree with both of, and I really do think that in Singapore, for the past 4 years that I've been here for my undergrad, there's a lack of separation between my work and my life. And back in Sweden, I think there's a much greater respect for the life aspect when you work. One time I was even speaking to one of my Swedish friends, and I asked them, so what are some of your hobbies? And she just said relaxing. And it was then that I realized that relaxing is actually something that you can do, and it's not just, you don't have to pack your schedules every day.
Very good. Anything else you want to say? Otherwise, I've got a lot of information here. It's been extremely nice to chat with you. Anything you want to add? You're okay? Last message?
We love Sweden.
Oh, fantastic.
We really
to hear.
do.
And we love you too, and we are so grateful that we could in Sweden have you there, and hopefully we'll get you back because there are lots of jobs in Sweden. People are looking for talent there too. So why not connect to our companies and see if we can develop something for you in Sweden too. But thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much,
having us.
Lisa.